Enzorecto, kalaban ang katiwalian at kasinungalingan, kakampi sa katotohanan at kabutihan.
He started quite strong to some people when he said that ito po, and I'll quote, ayon sa ombudsman, ay malapit na ang paghahain ng patong-patong na kaso laban sa dating speaker. Masakit man sa akin ito, ngunit kailangan natin gawin ang tama. Hindi ako pangulo ng aking pamilya, hindi ako pangulo ng aking kaibigan, ako ay pangulo ng Pilipinas. What did you think of that, sir?
Well, tama naman yun that he is the chief enforcer of our laws, including our anti-graft laws. But siguro reminder na lang sa lahat that the former House Speaker enjoys the presumption of innocence. Okay? Hindi dahil sa nabanggit siya sa SONA guilty na siya. So kailangan i-prove ng gobyerno ang kaso nilalaban sa kanya.
And you say that, why, sir? Why that caution? Which of course I know, kapag may kaso naman, you are innocent until proven otherwise. Yan naman talaga dapat ang ating alam lahat. But why did you, it's almost like you're cautioning the public after that president's speech.
Yeah, because I felt sad and I pitied the former House Speaker. Kasi una sa lahat, na-announce, na-mention pa sa SONA. At ang masakit doon, Pinky, pinalakpakan eh.
Pinalakpakan ng dati niyang kasama.
Hindi ba masakit yun? Pinalakpakan ang pagpa-file ng charges laban sa'yo. So reminder lang that he enjoys the presumption of innocence.
In a situation like that, Senator, even if there are going to be many sectors or groups who may have been saying and who think that the former speaker should be one of those charged because a number of individuals have already been charged. I guess ito yung isa, if it's safe to say that, na hinihintay ng mga tao, ng publiko, that the president needs to address, and he finally addressed it. And then ngayon po, kayo naman po ay nagsasabing masakit din yan dahil there is that presumption of innocence. And then number two, ay mismong yung mga tao pa rin po dun sa House ang pumalakpak sa kanya. Sir, kapag ganito po mga usapin, kung guilty man, kung may kasalanan man si dating Speaker Martin Romualdez, does it represent a number of other people in that Congress, sir?
I did not investigate the case, Pinky. So I believe the Ombudsman will conduct a thorough investigation. And, tama naman yun. No one should be spared. And of course, the people were waiting for familiar names, the so-called big fish. But this is only siguro pwede na yan sinabi na walang makakawala, walang makakalusot because of the thorough investigation, not only of the executive branch, but of course, tiwala tayo sa Ombudsman that he would also conduct a thorough and comprehensive and fair investigation. And where the evidence will lead, file niya ng kaso kung kanino merong ebidensya.
All right. Nagkulang ho ba yung naging tugon ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos regarding this flood control scandal controversy in his State of the Nation address earlier after last year's Mahiya Naman Kayo?
Hindi, okay na yun. Kasi last year, siya yung nagbulgar. Ngayon, sinasabi niya na yung meron ng big fish na kakasuhan. Actually, may mga big fish na nakasuhan na. Hindi future tense, past tense na. Meron ng mga either may kaso or under detention na. So, yung the anti-corruption drive, especially in connection with the flood control projects, gumalaw na, nagprogreso na. Meron na may bunga na yung kanyang fourth SONA na sinabi niyang mahiya naman kayo, nagbunga na po yun ng executive action. Meron na pong kilos doon.
Some might find it a little slow. How do you think about the pace by which the investigation has gone so far?
Well, it's kasi it involves billions of pesos, and then I think widespread. Buti na po yun. In a year's time, marami nang nakasuhan, nabulgar na. I hope, I believe that it has been stopped already. So in the name of reasonable due process, let us not sacrifice naman the reputation and the liberties of people. So okay na po yun. In a year's time, I think mga around 10 na rin ang more than 10 ang may kaso, and around 10 ata ang under detention. So
okay.
I think the pacing I find this reasonable.
All right. Sir, doon po sa Pulse Asia survey regarding what the people would want to hear from the President's State of the Nation address, about 30%, close to 30% said they want to hear, number one, corruption and the reforms that are being done to address this very controversial, and some say systemic sin in the Philippines. It doesn't seem, of course, that the President was clear on the kind of reforms that could be done. Nagkulang ho ba siya doon sa kanyang SONA dahil nga karamihan din, 30% ang nagsabing they want to know what kind of reforms can be instituted?
Against corruption. So actually, our laws are in place, Pinky. Andyan na eh. If you commit a corrupt act, andyan na it's already punishable. Pero ang maganda yatang executive action niya, yung sinabi niya yung mga bloated estimates materials, kinilusan na nila yun eh. So, binawasan na nila because the corruption begins with the agency estimate. Pagka bloated na yung agency estimate of the project, meron na silang built-in allowance for the kickbacks and the lagay and for the boys, mga ganun. So, andun na sa agency estimate. So, I believe by executive action, I think he did this immediately naman eh. Siguro within a month or within 2 months nung pag-expose niya, he instructed the DPWH to look at your cost estimates, babaan ninyo yung mga prices ng mga materials. And I think he mentioned it sa SONA, bring them down to market prices. So maganda na po yun. Pero ang maganda po siguro, so that means that hindi lang flood control projects ang apektado nito kasi even yung mga normal infrastructure projects na hindi flood control, bloated na yung agency estimate because of the cost of materials. Ang taas eh.
So saan po dapat maayos yan? Sa budget department pa lang? O sa submissions ng agencies to the budget department?
Agencies. Ang kada agency, pagka mag-procure siya, kung ano man yung project na nasa isip niya, meron siyang agency budget estimate. Doon nagkakadalihan kasi pag tignan mo yung mga items doon, ba't ang mamahal? Pag pumunta ka sa hardware, pumunta ka lang sa community hardware mo, makikita mo na, iba presyo mataas masyado sa gobyerno.
And how and who in government should be able to counter-check if these budgets are actually bloated, sir? Kailangan ho ba within the agency, maaari pa ho kaya yon sila mismo, hindi nila iba-bloat yung kanilang budget? Or should there be another agency, kumbaga fact-checking itong budget na isinusumite ng mga ahensya sa budget department?
We should assume na yung linalagay kasi yung mga ina-appoint na head of agencies, these are responsible, non-corrupt, and dedicated officials of government. Dapat ganon. So, kung may corrupt na naupo dyan and si President na nag-appoint, in a way, kasalanan niya, nag-appoint siya ng corrupt. Pero ngayon, sinabi na niya, pinakita na niya sa DPWH yung initial step. Sana, yung utos niya sa DPWH, gawin na niyang government-wide sa executive branch instruction niya, review the costing of your projects, the cost of the materials, especially in construction, and of course pati sa software. Sa software, napapansin ko wala kasing benchmark eh. It's a relatively new field na the supplier can just make his own estimate or quotation kung magkano yung software niya o services niya. So gawin na lang ng presidente yan government-wide
Approach.
effort, no, to revisit the pricing of your materials and other necessities in your projects, and make sure they reflect more or less the current market price. There will be no justification for bloating an agency's budget estimate.
Let's say, Senator Coco, ang kanilang isinumite sa budget department ay hindi nga po bloated at talagang market value lang. Does that necessarily or automatically mean na wala na ring magiging corrupt na politician?
Well, hindi. Of course hindi. Pero isn't that already an effective at safeguard? Kasi wala ka na, there is no elbow room or there's no financial space for the so-called, lagay ko sa quotation marks, incentives na pwede mong i-offer sa decision maker.
Okay. I guess, sir, what I'm thinking of is, kung ganun po, which may sound wise, ano po, ang mangyari, I'm just wondering if there's still other ways for other people to be able to generate some kickbacks. For example, whether the budget is, for example, at 1 million, ang gagamitin naman nila ay inferior products para lang makakuha ng SOP.
Yan, bantayan din yan. Yan, okay. Balik din yan sa agency. You are not supposed to accept an substandard project or an inferior project, inferior to the specs, di ba? So, meron dapat audit, may mga audit team naman yan sila. So, kasi, Pinky, it boils down to our public officials. Are they there in government for public service or to milk the government coffers? So yung appointing power, kaya nga yung mga appointment, dapat yung vetting process dyan, importante. Pero kung kunyari nga, merong isang vacancy sa government, kailangan ng presidente mag-appoint, merong limang aplikante, pero lahat naman balak magnakaw lang. So siguradong magkakamali ang presidente sa pag-appoint kasi all of them, yung 5 aplikante, iba pala yung motivation. So dapat medyo sa kultura, magbago na rin yung kultura na pasok tayo sa gobyerno because we want to serve the public. Public service po ito ang pagpasok sa gobyerno. Kung gusto mong yumaman, magnegosyo ka. Okay, be an entrepreneur or businessman, huwag sa gobyerno.
Bunyog, halikan na kasama ka. Bunyog, kapag buklod ay may pag-asa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, isa ang pananaw. Sa bagong Pilipinas ang bunyog isisigaw. Bunyog.